we are going to know about the author, then the summary and the textual analysis of Deepwater. But before we proceed, I request you to subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for the latest video updates. Well, William Orville Douglas was born in Minnesota, USA in the year 1898. He was afflicted with polio when he was only 4, but somehow he was lucky because he did not develop into paralysis. When he was only 6, his father died and naturally had to suffer a lot of hardship in the early years of his life. In fact, his family had to move to Yakima, where he was admitted to the Yakima High School. He was a promising student. He was a great debater there at school level. After school, he made his graduation in English and economics, and later he became an English teacher to run his family. But his love for law grew at this very time, and he joined the Columbia University Law School. He later joined as the professor of law in the Columbia University Law School and later at Yale Law School. At Yale Law School, he met the then President of America, Roosevelt, who nominated him as the Justice of the Supreme Court, and he became one of the youngest of the justices of the court. In fact, he served for 36 long years there, creating a history. In fact, he was an advocate of civil liberties, and he fought for establishing individual rights of the citizens of America, including free speech, right to privacy, limits of government interference, etc. He was a renowned environmentalist also. Also, he was a great climber of mountains. In fact, this man had a very tumultuous and controversial personal life, but this man was really famous in his lifetime. He wrote about 30 books, of which Of Men and Mountains is really famous. This particular story, Deepwater, was extracted from Of Men and Mountains. Here he has made some autobiographical sketch, and he has told about his fear of water and how he got rid of this fear. Well, let's discuss the summary of the text. The fear of water began in his life when he was only 3 or 4 years old, when he went to a beach in California with his father. He was clinging to his father, but the great waves were knocking down, and he was being buried underwater. His father loved to teaching, but this very incident, made him really. This very incident, made a lot to grow a great fear of water in him. Well, he realized that this fear has to be eradicated. Now he joined the YMCA swimming pool when he was 10 or 11 years old, and he decided to learn swimming. But there some misadventure happened, as on a day he was waiting to, the others to come, because he was alone there in the pool and he was afraid to get into water alone. And then a big bruiser came and threw him to the deep end of the pool. He was drowning, but he kept the cool, and he made a plan to get out of the water. He was not out of wits at that time. He decided to touch the bottom of the pool with his feet, and then to jump up like a cork, and then to lie flat on the surface, and then to go to the edge of the pool somehow. This was his planning, but this planning did not work, since the depth of that part of the pool was really 9 feet, and he choked to be unconscious after a lot of striving, and he was saved by others after that. Well, he grew fear of water more after this incident. In fact, he told himself about this. On page number 27 we find he says, "Several hours later I walked home. I was weak and trembling. I shook and cried when I lay on my bed. I couldn't eat that night. For days a haunting fear was in my heart. The slightest exertion upset me, making me wobbly in the knees and sick to my stomach. I never went back to the pool. I feared water. I avoided it whenever I could." So this was the situation of Douglas. He developed a fear of water and he could not enjoy his life. This fear of water really paralyzed his life. In fact, he told later on that it took away all the enjoyment of his life. He said, "It ruined my fishing trips, deprived me of the joy of canoeing, boating and swimming." So, if fear develops in our mind, and if it is not eradicated, if it is not put away, then we cannot enjoy life, because fear paralyzes our lives. Now he decided to overcome fear, and he appointed a swimming trainer, and the trainer taught him bit by bit. A particular strategy was followed. In fact, a belt was tied around his body and a rope was attached to the belt, which ran through a pulley, which ran on some overhead cable, and the end of the rope was held by the trainer. Whenever he held the rope tight, Douglas had no difficulty in swimming over the water of the pool. Now, whenever he slackened the rope a bit, he found it difficult. That very old fear came to his mind. His legs got stiff once again, and he found a difficult time. But he did not succumb to failure. He kept on trying. Perseverance was there in him. And in this way, after 3 months of trying, he got a bit of confidence, and now he could swim. Now the teacher taught him how to exhale in water and inhale in the air out of water. And then he taught him how to kick his legs while swimming. And these parts were taught not simultaneously at different times, and each parts were really worked out hard. Douglas made a lot of exercises, and he made swimming a successful one. In fact, he learned swimming, and the fear of water went away gradually. But he was not satisfied. He wanted to swim alone without the help of the trainer. He tried. That old fear came sometimes while he was in the mid-pool, and he put away that fear also, and he was able to swim alone. Later on, he tried to swim across a big lake, and he got successful there also, even though that old fear, that old terror of fear came to his mind once again. But he put away that also, and he attained success after all. This is the summary of the story. Now, let me discuss the title. The title is Deep Water. Deep water literally means at the depth of water. Again, it's an idiom, and it means to be in or get into a great trouble. Well, we find in the text that Douglas was really in a great trouble. In fact, from this autobiographical sketch, we come to know about his childhood fear of water, sorry, and how he got rid of that fear. This trouble is not, the trouble doesn't come to an individual only. It comes to all the individuals. And from Douglas's autobiographical sketch, we get a nice teaching how to put away fear and conquer in life. Well, learning strategically is very important. Keeping head cool at the time of difficulty is very important. Practice, practice and practice. All these are really important for, getting out of deep water. Well, if we analyze the text, we find the theme or themes. Fear and getting out of fear are two very important themes of this very text. Again, we get some other moral teachings also, like shunning or putting away pride and shame in quest of learning. In the text, in the early part of the text, he said, I hated to walk naked into the pool, and show my skinny legs. But I subdued my pride and did it. So we learned that, throwing away our pride and our shame are really very important for learning. If we can't put away those, we can't learn. Again, to overcome fear, we have to think rationally. We have to know the importance of 3D in our life: dedication, determination and discipline. Douglas was a disciplined exerciser, and that's the reason why he achieved success after a long trouble. Practice makes a man perfect, we all know. In fact, in the text we see him saying, I repeated the exercise hundreds of times. In fact, he exercised each part of the learning of swimming hundreds of times to achieve success at last. Again, patience. We cannot learn to climb a tree in a day. We have to learn bit by bit, and we have to learn patiently. Success doesn't come in a day. He said, bit by bit I shed part of the panic that seized me when my head went under water. So this is very important, and from the text we learn this. Again, we come to know at the end of the text that success is, getting a success once is not a great deal of life. we have to get success number of times. In fact, Swami Vivekananda said, success is a journey, not a destination. While he was crooked with the fear of water, he wanted to learn swimming anyhow and overcome that very unsuccess, that very failure, and he did that. Now he did not stop there. He wanted to swim across the pool alone, and he did that also. And he did not stop there again. He went across a big pool. He went across a big lake also. In fact, he started going across the lakes, big lakes, like any other professional swimmers. So we understand success is a journey, not a destination. In fact, he has given a lot of moral teachings to us through this autobiographical sketch. Well, hopefully you have understood the text. Hopefully you enjoyed learning a text with me. Thanks for watching. Meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.